Good morning. We're in day 3 of the lessons of 2021. Today I want to talk about something tiny, 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 tiny. Tiny, 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 tiny. One of the reasons why we don't get to do big things is because they are really big. This year it started January, and my husband said, "Oh, I'm going to read so many number of books." And he started reading really small books, and he was just doing it. Oh, really small books. How nice. And I was recommended this big brick. And I was recommended this big brick. How on earth I was going to read such a big thing? How? Particularly when I saw my husband saying, I finished this book, I finished that book, I finished that book. I felt so small with my gigantic brick trying to read it. So I decided to follow the idea of Atomic Habits of James Clear about just tiny little steps, tiny increments. And now I have finished it, but I am all the way here. I'm way more than half, way more than 2/3 of the book. And it was absolutely an impossible feat for me. I am wanting to write a book, and I don't get myself started because I have the table of contents and it sounds so scary. So I started to think, what have I done in tiny, tiny little steps that I was successful? For years, I fought with my weight, and I got into a diet and I left it, and I got to a diet and left it, and my weight was an absolute disaster. I was constantly struggling with, well, self-image and my weight. I was constantly struggling with relationships. I will start a relationship and I will end it. I was just, constantly struggling with big things. My weight was a big thing. My body was a big thing. Intimacy was a big thing. Until I decided that I will do absolutely small steps. I make small shifts from coffee, milk, and sugar to tea, from my gigantic piece of chocolate, American size, to a tiny little bit of chocolate when I have my period. I started going for coffee with men, just, getting to know them little by little. That's how I met my husband, just little by little. So what I'm offering you today is extremely powerful. That's the way businesses are created. That's the way you lose weight. That's the way relationships are built. That's the way everything is built, is just by tiny, tiny steps, tiny steps. Just like if you imagine that you were mothering yourself. So if you were mothering yourself and your little child is crawling, are you going to shout at your child, "Oh, you will never learn to walk"? Or are you going to have all the eternal patience? So I offer you the idea to have eternal patience with you and do just one thing, a small one push-up today, reading one paragraph today, writing one sentence today, making one shift in your behavior today, saying "I love you" today. Just do a tiny, tiny little action, because it compounds with time. You have results by tiny little actions. The smallest, the better. meaning the least scary for you, the least scary for you. Have a wonderful day. And that's the reason why this video is so tiny. Have a wonderful day. I see you tomorrow for day 4.